Hey guys! I am here today with a video. One of my favorite tags ever was the perfect palette tag. I don't know who originally came up with this, but the first time I ever heard of it was from Emily Noel, 1697 420. The first one is best packaging. So for best packaging, I chose the Naked 2. The reason I picked this palette for best packaging because it is really rugged. You can take it with you everywhere. It's pretty slim, so I find it fitting in my purse really easily, and I'm not scared to, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna break it. I'm not scared of any of that, but I just really love how, like, portable it is and all that. I really like this one for that. Best color payoff. Now, this might be a little left wing. Oh god, I just broke it. I'm really scared to open this palette. It's untouched. I have wood floors, so it's pretty impressive that it didn't break. Kat Von D True Romance palettes, they have this little, like, it's like a little claspy, you know what I mean? Okay, so these colors, while they're not in my normal comfort range of colors, like, I have to be really wanting something like way out there, and I know you can soften it up with these little shades right here, but I typically like to go with the darker shades in any palette anyway, and that's just how I roll. These have seriously the most ridiculous pigmentation. Like, well, let me get this, I'm gonna just show you this black here. Look at that, like carbon. I think this palette is the most versatile simply because this came out last year for the Too Faced collection. This palette, y'all. Honestly, out of all the palettes that I have, I think this has the most colors. It's got a few mattes running throughout it. I really like this chimney color. That is not a matte, but it's really great. I don't know why I haven't used it yet, but it is, I think, so far, the most versatile one that I own. Okay, so, like, hands down, forevermore, best for traveling. Before, it was the Naked Basics, but then we got the Naked Basics 2. I think that I like this one more anyway. A lot of usage there. It's just a cooler palette from the one before. It is, I like the colors in here more. I think they agree with me more, my skin tone. I don't know. I just really like the way they look. I like the fact that we can do a lot of contours with these colors, and I just really love this. But this is for the traveling purposes. This is the best one for sure. Biggest regret. Now, usually I think when people do this tag, when they're talking about their biggest regret for palettes, people talk about the financial aspect of a regret in a purchase. For this palette, it is not a financial regret at all. I did not spend a lot of money and it was 10 bucks. I regret it because I thought I was going to use it. I've used it on my daughter twice, but I have not used it on myself at all. I wasn't really impressed with the color payoff, but here we go. The Ariel palette from E.L.F. These, to my knowledge, are more of a collector's item anyway, but I love the artwork on it. I think it's really beautiful. And for $10, realistically, this is a really great palette. When I think of regret, this is honestly the only thing that comes to mind. Yeah, I would say biggest regret is probably this guy. Okay, best color names. I have always loved Too Faced and the way that they name their shadows. I think they're just really cute and whimsical and darling and great. I got this, I think, in November of last year, like before Black Friday. My mother-in-law came up here and she bought this for me. The Be Merry from the Too Faced Be Merry and Be Bright. I really like the way that they named these colors. You have like eggnog, very merry, buttered rum, bubbly brown spice, and peachy keen. I really love this palette a lot. Just in general, this is for sure an adorable named palette, and I love the holidays. I just love the holidays. I love everything that's sparkly and pretty and cute and delicious, flavored. Least used. I'm nervous to say this out loud to the YouTube community. Naked 3. I bought this palette a while ago. I bought this palette, and while it is beautiful and it is just marvelous and I love it, it's pretty, and I don't use this palette. I don't know why. I think my favorite color, and which I probably will end up doing, is just getting a single version of this eyeshadow, is Nooner. And that's, why do I keep putting this blasted brush in here? Nooner is right here where my little finger's touching, this color. I love this as a transitional color in my crease line, but aside from that, again, can I say it again? Have I said it enough? I don't use this palette. Okay, so for most used, this is really weird because when I think of the palette tag, I always think of like a larger palette. And then I was like, you know what, Valerie? This is totally a palette. For my most used palette, it is the Bare Minerals Ready Eyeshadow 4.0, and the quad name is The Possibilities. I got this, I think, 3 years ago. I I broke the mirror in it. My grandmother-in-law got this for me in a holiday set. And this is before I was like obsessed with makeup. She just knew somehow, like, Valerie loves makeup. I don't know how she knew it. This color right here, this is champagne pink. This color is, I think, the only eyeshadow I've ever used in the history of the universe where I've actually hit pan on it. And that is really saying something because I don't do that. Hitting pan is not like a thing that I ever accomplish in life, but my most loved palette of all time ever in the history of the world is the Marc Jacobs Style Icon number 7. If you did not watch my last video, if you are new to my channel, this is for sure my favorite palette. I will say something about Marc Jacobs. The more I use this palette, the less I'm convinced of the quality of the shadows, which is so bizarre because I have always loved this specific one. It has 7 eyeshadows in it, and they're pretty decent sized. I would say they're a little bit smaller than like a MAC pot of shadow. It is a beautiful palette. I think that's why I like it. Like, call me shallow, hallow. The Lolita is this one if you're interested. When I first think of Desert Island, I think like I'm dying, because I'm in a desert island and I have nothing with me at all. So my first thought is not to get a palette of makeup, which is hilarious. I have come to find through various researches and listening to YouTube videos from other lovely ladies that the desert island tag is basically, if you could only grab one palette out of your whole collection to bring with you to desert island, what would it be? So I think, well, that's difficult. So I picked this one. It's the Be Merry by Too Faced. The reason I picked this one for sure is because I have everything I need as far as eyeshadows. Literally. All my eyeshadows are right here, but I also have an eyeliner. Look at the size of this bronzer. Do you see this? I'm really glad that I finally, you know, like made a point to do this video, because in doing so, I prioritized my palette love. Sorry down there. I would love to hear about all of your favorite palettes or disliked palettes or regrets or awesome or like wishes or whatever. I want to hear all of it for real, like in real life. Please, everybody watching this, if you haven't done a palette tag already, make one and tag me in it so I can watch it. Also, if you have done one, you should tell me in the comments below so I can watch your favorite palette tag, because I love watching other people's videos and that's my favorite thing to do. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up.